We won that.
Yeah, my relationship with Ross is pretty good. I've known him for a long time.
So working with James is brilliant. There's someone that's been there on the journey with you from day one, literally day one.
This season's been awesome. I know it was cut short for me, but I've absolutely loved it. It's always tough being injured, but I'm looking forward to trying to get back for the start of the season, which would be the end of September. I want to play as long as I can. I'm still really enjoying playing, and I think then I'd love to go into coaching. Women's sport at the moment's in a really, really good place, which is amazing to come in and coach. I've worked with the women kind of loosely for about 2 seasons, which has been awesome.
James's transition is exciting, and he's doing it in a different way. His personality, his relationship with the group, the way he interacts with people and the level of knowledge that he's got in the game is fantastic for us to be able to draw in those experiences. I'm sure when James retires, if he wants to go into coaching, he'll be an outstanding coach. Here we go, speed out your hands, speed out.
As a family, we obviously know how much he loves the sport, how good a coach he is, and the on-field stuff comes very easily to him. But I think what's more impressive is how he stepped into a role as head coach and not shied away from anything.
So my first season as head coach, I really enjoyed the new challenge. It's a different role entirely. You're managing the team, picking the team, managing staff, dropping people, selecting people, contracts, all that side of things that you learn and you do as a player, but then you're on the other side of the fence, as it were.
He's one of those guys that seamlessly transitioned into coaching, and he absolutely loves it. He's a real success story, which is nice to see. I think you always find that there'll be elements that you miss, and I think still working in rugby you get that fix. So he's just nailed it in my opinion, and he's doing really well, which is nice to see, and also nice to be a part of.
Tackle there! Life after playing, I suppose, is at the front of your mind. Maybe not when you start at 18, like I did. More experienced pros or people in the environment are telling you need to think about life after one day it'll finish and all this stuff, and you sort of don't want to think about that too much because you just want to play rugby.
You get to a certain age and it's like, wow, that guy's my age, he's retiring. And I think you can't underestimate how hard it is. I think a lot of things go with it, of the worst case scenario of loss of identity, loss of purpose, which doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen, as well as the shock of retiring. If it's overnight, it's quite scary. You have to prepare financially and career-wise. You've got to be really switched on. The biggest lessons there are just prepare for it to happen tomorrow. Every time I kind of start a season, it's like, I want to be able to retire at the end of this season, which I believe I could now, which obviously makes me feel a lot more comfortable with the things I'm doing, the future. It's just way less scary.
Where Harlequins, for me, has been so strong in my life is there's a real sense of belonging and a real sense of one big family. When I started, I remember coming in and there was always an allocated person that was almost looking after welfare and well-being and things like that. And the club has got a great partnership now with Charles Stanley in that area, but when I first started, that wasn't there many years ago.
The club put a lot of stuff in place for us to be successful post-rugby. There's obviously the RPA, our trade union, which is incredibly helpful. There's our sponsors such as Charles Stanley, which work in the finance sector, which if you wanted to go into that career path or work in the city, you're right there on the doorstep to make a success of yourself.
I suppose I got not lucky with my coaching journey and some of the support that I get, but I know the club was helping me along that journey, because that's probably the scariest thing, is you're going, it's the unknown. I've loved rugby, will I love something else after rugby? How hard will I find that transition? And I think even though you are well prepared, it's still a different time in your life where you've done something for potentially, since in my case, 6 years old, and then you stop doing it overnight essentially, and that transition can be a tricky one.
The advice I'd give to any of the youngsters coming through would be, obviously make your career your priority, because ultimately it won't last forever, and everything's easier if you make a good career of this to then plan for the future. Use the tools that we have. There's a player mentor program with Charles Stanley, amazing one to just jump on. Use things like that are available to us, and there's loads of tools out there that we have. It's just about being proactive.